Hello everyone, welcome back. This is video 2 of Copy That, the Rain or Shine stamp set. If you're new to Copy That, it is, we are taking, each catalog we are taking a stamp set or stamp page in the book that inspires us, and trust me, in this book there are lots of inspiration, and we're copying them. For our benefit and for yours, we learn a little bit together and we have some laughs, and you get all the ins and outs of putting this together and all the dimensions of everything. So I picked for this book this Rain or Shine set and got the goodies to go with that, and this is my page to copy. So video 1 was our layout, and video 2 now is going to be these adorable cards with the umbrella, a little sanding. We've got some cloud paper. On number 2, of course, we have my illustrious boots. There's a story to go with that. And we've got even some little raindrops. And then this was my favorite, the Rain or Shine, You're Always on My Mind. I think just that's so usable and so perfect for right now. Okay, so I'm going to show you my samples. We're going to start up close. This is card number 1. Isn't this so much cuter in person than it was in the book? Like, I'm not joking. It's just flippin' adorable. These boots just kill me. As you recall on the layouts where I talked to you just a little bit about my envy of another girl in middle school who had a pair of jellies like this that had the polka dots. So I had to make them. I just could not resist making those. We also got this brand new Swiss dot, which is the tiniest, bittiest dot you could ever imagine. But we're gonna do a little sanding on that one, and then we move on to card 2. This one is just so cute with its cloud paper. Again, a little bit of sanding on the mist cardstock. I love that our cardstock's white core because you can do techniques like this. We've got the periwinkle flower bundle, which just proves to me over and over and over again that you don't have to color in everything all the time. You can color this, but it is just as cute as is. And then my favorite, Rain or Shine, You're Always on My Mind, is just the softest, prettiest card I can imagine. You'll notice in my little, I want to show you these because I had a hard time with the piece. Those jellies always give me a little bit of a hard time, and I know they do you too. I've watched several videos online, and the white gel pens, or gel pens in particular, can give you a little bit of frustration. But you'll see I did some little scrolling, some little tiny bows, and I did some dots, and we're going to do that kind of stuff. And we're also going to color these beautiful flowers in a super, super easy way. So let's get started because I'm super excited to show you stuff. Okay, we've got our number 1 card. Now, mind you, I'm not going to do every card from 0 to 100 because I know you know stuff. I know you know how to cut the paper, right? The measurements are laid out for you in my guide, but I'm going to show you up front. We did our sapphire with that bitty dot, right? Debossed, embossed. It is so crisp. I love it. So before we do anything else, we might as well take our sanding block. So fun. When you emboss, you just want to look for the close marker label on the top. That shows you which way is up. You're going to line your paper up, right? It's not going to fit all the way through. And you're going to slip it through. You can either do it this way, you can pull it up to the part that's left, right, and line up the little dots, or make the edge really close to where those dots go and then run it through again, or you can flip it over. Honestly, it's just what you're comfortable with. You can try it this way, whatever, but it's nice to have those options that you can feed a longer piece of paper through here. Okay, so all we're going to do is take my nail sanding block and really soft, really soft. You want to put it down on a flat surface, otherwise you're just going to get uneven. And uneven in crafting, honestly, it's not bad, but right, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. If I was looking for a perfect, right, then maybe, but in truth, look at how fun that is. And we didn't even do anything. Like we didn't even make it hard. if I had a tissue, if I'd remembered to bring a tissue, which I did not, you just wipe it off a little bit because there will be dark blue dust on there, right? That's going to cover up your dots. Okay, you've got this plaid and the hearts double-sided. I don't know why they did that because it made it really hard to choose which side to use. And then we've got our little piece of pine, light side, and we've got this little tiny bitty stamps for the raindrops. You can make your raindrops go this way, or where did I do with my card? Oh, it's right here. Or you can make them slanty. You can make them go straight down. It's totally up to you. They're almost, you almost miss them up there in the corner, but they're so cute and easy. And it's just limeade ink on limeade paper. Not at all hard. Right now I'm in a place where I don't have a hard table surface to do my stamping on. So I know that you can do it. This is standard size A2 card. This is the size I use all the time. And I thought, I know how much fun you're going to have reproducing these because they are just a ball. I love this little dot. Isn't that funny how you buy things sometimes and you go, oh, like that's cute. I don't know if I'll use that much, right? This one's just going to go on the inside again, same border. I don't know if I'm going to use that much. And then you get it and you play with it a little bit and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. Like I thought it was going to be the flowers that were going to get me. And actually it's the dots. Isn't that funny? We all do things like that. I know I'm not alone. I 100% know I'm not alone. You're going to stamp your Welcome Spring in either black or sapphire. Choice is yours. Love this scroll. Love it, love it. I actually like the shape of it too in the little rectangle. We're going to do that. We're going to mount it on our Bluebird mat. And we're going to stamp up at the top of it, obviously, because we're going to have our boots are going to cover up a good portion of this. Now, to copy the card of the catalog, they put it underneath, nestled underneath our strip. So this one goes down first. Almost centered completely, honestly. If you look at it, it's long enough that it's really centered top to bottom as well. Then we're going to take our little rain strip, and it's going to go about, you know, not quite a ½ inch, maybe a ¼ inch from the bottom of the Bluebird. Right? Maybe a ¼ inch from here. Super, super easy, you guys. Right? It's just so fun when they're fast and easy like that. Now, let me show you the first side, and then we're gonna do it together because I've got a plain stamp. So you're gonna die cut it white. You're gonna stamp on it with intense black or black ink, and I love that they're symmetrical so that you could actually stamp on this side too. So if you make a mistake on this side and you need to redo it, you can. And that's what I did here. So I did this first and I went, oh, but my dots are a hot mess because I wasn't paying attention. I was doing it like the layout and I kind of just did it artsy, creative, and smeared it around. Well, when you do a pair of boots that's supposed to be a pair of boots you buy at the store, I wasn't really thinking. And when I thought of that, I was like, oh, my dots need to be on point, right? So I went back and redid it. Look at the difference. Like crazy difference, right? Creative, on point, right? And I love that. So I was like, okay, but what I learned for you is that they are symmetrical enough that you can stamp on both sides. They're reversible. Think of them that way. Reversible. So is the umbrella in this set, both of them. So we're gonna get our... Oh, I might have to find my stencil. I know it's here. Okay, we're gonna get our stencil and my sponge. You can use the brushes, you can use a round sponge, you can use whatever you have and it will work. And I'm gonna take my stencil, my sponge, my periwinkle ink. Again, all you want to do for this, if you want to be creative, you could just hold it loosely and doodle. If you want to actually deposit ink, quite a bit of it, to get that store-bought look, and by store-bought I mean like a real pair of boots kind of thing, like it was a design on the boots, then you're just going to be a little bit more direct, right? You're going to hold your stencil down. You can tape it, but it's so small of an area that you really don't have to tape it. You just have to hold it and have intention when you're, instead of what I was doing was just kind of googly stamping. I wasn't paying attention. I was just being creative. Okay, there you go. Alrighty. Look at that. So good. Really, right? So good. Okay, now it doesn't matter which one we use. We just need to put one of them on here. And I don't have my foam tape. I'm going to, scissors would be good. Love that the microtip scissors don't stick to my foam tape. If you have issues with your scissors sticking to your foam tape, you should raise your hand. And then you should find yourself a pair of non-sticks, because that's the beauty of it. Until my husband actually, actually it was me, it's not my fault. I mean, it's not his fault, it's my fault. I asked him once, I'm like, hey, can you sharpen my scissors in my craft room? Like, can you help me with that? And he was like, sure. Like, he's got a new, he was already doing some of the blades and the mower blade and stuff. And he was doing that. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get in on this little sharpening action. And I asked him, like, hey, can you sharpen mine too? And he was like, yeah. Pokey tool is an awesome one for any of the little embellishments or dots on their sheet, because you can pick up and put it exactly where you want it. So size is up to you. Really, I went between the medium and the large a billion times before I picked medium on the first card, and now I'm going to do the large. But you can see, you can put it exactly where you want it, and I like exactly. Anyway, so I'm getting him to sharpen, like, can you sharpen my scissors? He's like, yeah. So he did. He pulled my scissors out of my bin, sharpened them all. Well, when you sharpen them, it takes off the non-stick coating. And I didn't realize that. I wasn't thinking, or I would have not asked him to do that. Oh, how cute is that, you guys? Love the little heart, just makes them sing. Okay, card number 1. Now we're gonna move to our little umbrella card. Okay, A2 size card. We're gonna fold it in half. You could use polka dots. I almost did use polka dots, and I thought, no, Dana, you have to do it the way they have it in the catalog. That's the name of it, is copy that. You can't, right? You can't deviate from the copying by going rogue. But I almost did. I came close, you guys, to just being rogue. Okay, one thing I do sometimes, if it's a small enough piece of paper, I almost said pizza, hold it in your thumb and your pointer finger, and you can lift it up just the tiniest bit, and it will help you get that corner straight. You know how sometimes when it's just cut exactly, you have a hard time getting it, and boy, my adhesive's tough, so if it sticks and grabs on there, you're so done. So done. This is you are the spring in my step. I put it on foam tape. I'm trying to think, I think I put it away. But I did this on 2 different sizes. I wasn't quite sure. Sometimes I just pick up, FYI, if you're looking to size something, I pick this up and then I hold it over my trimmer, actually. Got it right here. Hold it over my trimmer and see what size it is. And that helps me determine what size of piece of paper to try. So I did this on smaller and bigger. Actually, I think this is the bigger. It is. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a big difference on this card one way or the other. It goes almost all the way to the top. And again, I really resisted putting a border on it because my brain wanted a border there. And I was like, you can do this. Don't mess it up. Right? Don't go rogue. Now, in this one, you'll see I added a little sapphire. That was my rogueness right there. I added a little sapphire paper. I'm not going to add it to this one. I can copy. I cannot change it. No, actually, it's really hard for me to not change it. Just a little. Just a little. Okay, we've got our limeade, and we've got our sapphire. Now, when I'm doing butt-up pieces, I'm right-handed, so I start on the left, I hold it down, and I push towards the center. because I don't want, you know how sometimes, again, you get that paper started and it latches on and it has a mind of its own. If you push toward the center, you will get them like just a seamless look. And I like that. Sometimes for me, it's the little details. Okay, now we've got our mist cardstock. We're gonna go back with our sander block again, very lightly. This one's not about having, because I don't wanna sand the black lines off either. And if you just hold it lightly, it goes over the top where those embossed areas are, and that's exactly what you get. You don't hit the black lines at all. See how easy that was? Literally, I think 3 swipes. Now you see I only did the top when I embossed it, right? There's no need to do the whole umbrella because you're not gonna use the whole umbrella. So it's got this stem here. All I'm gonna do, actually you can flip it over. No, whatever way you can hold it easiest. All I'm gonna do is copy or mimic the shape of the others. And it won't be perfect. It's not gonna be perfect, and it's fine because you're not gonna see it either. And then the other thing I'm gonna do before I glue it on is I'm gonna cut off that little tip because it's hard to line up. So now I cut it off because this one's gonna cover it anyway. Whatever, I'm always trying to find ways that are easier when I'm doing things. Like my word for the year is efficient. And when I think of efficient, I think efficient in terms of time, efficient in terms of money, right? All the things. So there's our cute little mist umbrella. And he needs some foam tape on him or her. And it looks like I colored the top of that too. Where are my pencils? You can use whatever you want to color it. I just used a little bit of that green. You could use whatever handle color you want it to be, quite honestly. And just like we're gonna do the flowers, you're gonna use the side of your pencil, believe it or not. I know it sounds weird, trust me, because all we're gonna do is deposit a little bit of color. That's it. Okay, we're gonna take him and put him down about, oh, I don't know, kind of, again, 1/4 inch from the bottom, not quite 1/2 inch, it might be 1/2 inch if you go to here. And then we've got our flowers, which we just literally stamped in periwinkle. That's all the difference. That's the only thing I did. And I thought you would hate my shaking the camera so much. Okay, now all I'm gonna do is just finagle it the tiniest bit to get a little bit of this point out. Look at that. Just so I could get this edge and this edge, but the rest is tucked underneath because I don't want to lose the integrity of the umbrella. I want it to look like an umbrella, not just be completely covered. Okay, super cute. Oh, I love, love, love. Okay, but this is my favorite. This one. Oh, wait, hang on. I've got the pieces over here. Okay, favorite. Okay, let's, I'm trying to think of how I want to do first. We've got our Rain or Shine stamped in intense black, flowers same. I've got a little scrap paper here for my doodling with my white gel pen. And I'm kind of glad I just wanted to do part of this off camera because I know how difficult it can be. You know everything goes wrong when you get on camera. So I didn't want to sit here for 20 minutes and fiddle with it and not get it to come out. And you can see how much fiddling I had to do to actually get the ink to come up. What I did want to show you though is it actually did work. When I did start having trouble, I rolled the crap out of this and just rolled and rolled and rolled until you feel some friction and heat in your hands. And that heat actually did make it work. It literally just, drew the ink out. And I was like, that's exactly what they say. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you up a little bit as close as I can get you. And I'm going to, if I can see a little more contrast so you can see that. And then I'm going to show you, like you can do X's, you can do dots, X's, bows. It's really up to you, and they don't have to be perfect. It's not about, right, being perfect. So you can do a little bow, and then I kind of do one opposite, right? And it's not, my ink is not flowing well. Let's see if I can get a little bit more. And that line just is gonna bug me. Let me see if this one works a little bit better. Oh, there's a little brighter. There it comes. See, it's just gel, pudding, if you will. Okay, so now we've got some little bows. Let's see if I can get it going enough to make some dots. Come on. Come on, there we go. Dots. And then all I did was kind of go dots, doodling, more dots. They're cute no matter what you do, which is kind of the nice part, right? I do things in threes. It's kind of how I tend to doodle, but just so you can have some fun ideas you can try with yours, and try not to get too frustrated with the gel pens. They work great when they're working. I think they just get, depending on the temperature of your room, they get a little cold, and then it just takes a tiny bit more effort, but I love, love, love them. And this brand is actually really, really good. I don't have trouble with it often, every once in a while. Okay, I'm gonna put our paper here, and let's see, back it out just a little bit. Okay, so we've got sanding on our pine. Again, we used the pine cardstock with the teeny dot Swiss dot. Love, 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 like 2 swipes, right? And then we've got our light side of limeade we're gonna leave alone. We just chevron the ends. And then this one, you know what, I'm going to chevron it first, just because before I ink, it'll just show me where everything is. So it's a cut to the center, and then I flip it over. So I'll show you again. So the top point of your scissors needs to be how deep you want it to be. And my 2 cents is you always go shallower than you think you want it. I don't know why. I think there's some funky, I always cut them deeper than I want, and I don't want that. I like that look, right? That's good. And it's easier and better than it would be if I was just hacking it, right? I used to just go blink, blink, but they didn't always come out even. That cutting to the center gives me some guidance, and it works really nicely. Okay, now we're going to use our bitty flowers, and I'm gonna switch this out for my sponge for limeade. Again, using your brushes, you can just rinse them in the sink. Now this is meant to be creative, so this is not a line it up, hold it down, tape it, do all that nonsense. This is really just a creative exercise of smearing some ink through the stencil. And I love that. My heart has a lot of fun when you're doing that. And I hope yours does too. It is not meant to be, right, hard or just for fun. I love it. Not fun, super easy. Now, we're gonna set our stencil aside, and all I'm gonna do is take this sponge. You can use your brush with it, you just do it flat. Because I'm using a sponge, I can hold it in my hand, but in truth, you could do whatever. You can do it this way. I find I have a little bit more control. Or I can use it this way. If I had my brush, I would go against the edge this way. But with a sponge, it's a little bit easier, I find anyway, in my hand. Okay, there we go. I think that just kind of finishes it, adds a little bit. Oh, I love it. It's hard to stop. Okay, we've got our little piece, the chevron, those are ready to glue down. Now we've got our, I want to show you the finished so you can see. There's just a slight bit of ink on the edges. So I'm going to do edges first because I want to get some of the ink off of my sponge, right? The bottom, actually, you don't have to do because it's going to be covered, but it's a hard habit to break, isn't it? It's a hard to not do it because it's there. Right, now I'm going to come up on this top, though, and that's the part that's going to show, and I'm just going around. Now, if you're using the blending brushes, you would have this laying flat on your paper. Okay, now I've got most of the ink off of my sponge. All I'm going to do is take this and very lightly, not dab, I'm going to brush. And if I had my blending brushes, I would just be coming in from the outside edge. I don't want a lot, I just want some. Little bit of cast of soft gradient green, like a glow, if you will. Not hard, you don't want too much, right? Love it, love it, love it. Isn't that fun? Okay, now we've got our green. Should we do our flowers while we're here and then we can just assemble? Let's think that the coloring on this is going to be the same as on the layout. So we're going to use the fresh green, the rich purple, the sunburst yellow, and azure blue. Okay, we're going to start with yellow. We're going to do yellow flowers. This is the same coloring technique. Instead of using at a 45-degree angle that deposits too much color. Color pencils, the trick to them is about layering color, layering color. So you want to start and use the flat edge of the side, actually the side of the pencil. And you can go right around the middle a couple of times, right where those little center lines are. And then out, 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 lighter, 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 lighter. And then we're going to turn it to the next one. We're going to do the 4 flowers that are, or I think there's 3 or 4 flowers that are going to be yellow. They're all the same type. Again, we're just smearing. Don't worry about the tight lines. Don't worry about coloring in. We're just depositing a light amount of color and using that flat side. It's almost like using pastels. If you ever had art class in school, it's almost like that. This feels, it has the feel of coloring with pastels. So again, we're going to start in the middle. We're going to go circle around a few extra times around those lines, and then we're going to go out, 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 out. And we're going to come out here on the edges, just the lightest little deposit of color. You can go back around those circles if you want those, right, to have a little bit more, right? A little bit more in the center, a little darker, a little bit darker. Fun, just from the side. Now we're going to take our green. We're going to start at the biggest one again. Side of the pencil. Side, 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 side. If you want to go back right now and shade, all I'm going to do is that top half. A little bit darker. Top half. It's hard to do it for the side, but it is a very creative way of doing it. Now these are really hard to do from the side. I'm going to 45-degree angle it. Lightest color you could possibly imagine. I am depositing color, but you can barely see it, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, we're back to our flat side and the bigger leaf. Circles work. Back to the top, just a little bit darker to shade. And then we're going to go around this one. We've got another big one. You can shade differently. You can go down the middle where the veins are. You could do that. Again, 45-degree in the babies, the little tiny leaves. Barely hit them. Barely hit them. You'll have a much more artsy kind of look. You know, it makes this, again, like I said, it makes me feel like I'm doing pastels, which is really fun. It's very freeing. And the idea is that you don't deposit too much color too fast. Okay, now we've got our green and our yellow done. You could stop here, but I want to tie in this periwinkle. So we're going to go to our purple, which is actually more of a lavender. Again, we're going to use the side, and we're going to do flat edge. And I know it's against the grain. It feels a little against the grain for me too. You are not alone. But this technique works so well. And honestly, it allows you to not worry about the lines. Don't stop, right? Just go around. Now we're gonna go on this one. Just go around, little circles, go out, 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 out. Get those little bit of the detail, but nothing major. We've got another one right here, flat, center, circles, out. Kind of get those over here. Let me see if I can get it a little bit closer. All right, we're just swinging. If you were doing this at a 45-degree angle, you would have a much more colored, harder flower. And the thing is, just like when you've colored with crayons are the same way. Once you've deposited so much color, it will not color anymore. You get to the point where you get this dark, nasty purple, black, and I'm sorry, now we're moving to azure blue. We're gonna do the same thing. Flat side, and you get this black kind of mass color, and you can't, the more you add, it doesn't change. It at some point stops. It's fully saturated with all the color it can hold. And that's the answer. And that's what these would be like too. You can only go so far. So if you deposit too much color with pressure, if you will, right, then you're finishing it early. You won't be able to deposit any more color if you want to make adjustments. So this flat side coloring technique allows you to deposit color slowly and make more changes, right? Because if you do too much, just like I said last time, if you do too much with the purple or the blue and you want to tone it back, you can, because I haven't reached the saturation point yet. But look at the change in the color. Now when I put it on the periwinkle, it actually picks up periwinkle. But if I wanted this to be more lavender, I could. All I do is go back with the purple again, and it would take on more shades of purple, because now I put purple, blue, purple. It's gonna take more of the hue that you started with, that's on top, if you will. Oh, I love this, honest. It's so much fun. It's so pretty. Okay, foam tape, if you will. Where's my thicker foam tape? There it is. I want my wide one. My wide one. Okay, we're gonna put that kind of right here in the middle. I think will be fine. Oh, I just love it. All right, let's get our slimline card. I love the slimline. It's just so fun and different, isn't it? It's just, we just don't, I got so used to using like A2 size for so many years that it's fun to have something different. Okay, we've got our pine. We've got our, let's do our plain light limeade first. Again, 1/4 inch from the top. And then we've got our, make sure I'm leaving enough room. Yep. Our flowered dark side of limeade, which actually looks even a little bit darker now because we inked it, right? We added ink. And then we've got our sanded Swiss dot pine, which is going on at the bottom. About the margins are about the same on both sides. Okay. Now we've got our periwinkle, which is going to go down here somewhere in the middle. There we go. And now our rain or shine goes down next. I pop that up with foam tape, the thin foam tape. Now, once you get this on, if you decide that you, like I just looked at what, I just covered my doodling, but it doesn't matter, that it works fine. And then we've got our flowers, which are gonna go right up to On My Mind. Love these. Okay, now you can choose to do some of the dots on these. I think it's really fun. Or you can not. Like there's lots of colors that go with any of these. I've got the teal and the blue. The green also go. I just didn't have the green with me. But I thought I had a set of these that popped out already, but that's all right. We'll find it. It'll show up after. So now I'm going to use this periwinkle color as the dots on the centers on these flowers, and it looks so phenomenally pretty. Here, let's see if I can get you up a little bit closer. And it's nice because they come in 3 sizes, and you've got 3 sizes of flowers. Really fun. They fit so nicely, but you could use, you could use the green. There's a million choices. So fun. Okay, so we've got our boots and our umbrella. Oh, let me get them up here so you can see them. And our rain or shine cards. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of Copy That. I'll see you soon. Bye.